It's Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which means it's time for Quick Fix Golf in our open house when both our members and members guests and everything can enjoy all the information that we have for you. And it's going to be fun and get some laughs, but you're also going to learn something. So tonight, Quick Fix Golf will reveal the secret that only the pros know. That means we, right, Darren?
That would be us.
Did you tell Todd?
I did not. No.
Well, look, how did you get his picture on there? Oh, that's my picture.
That's your picture.
Darren DeMelli.
Pastrami on rye.
Yeah, I'll be sitting behind the dugout at the Mets game eating that.
All right. And yeah, we're at Tupelo Bay and Patterson Golf Park in Virginia. And we also have another special person that has joined the team. It's been with us for about 4 months now, and that is Mr. Alati. He's a big Met fan. So I hear. So Srini, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you joined the team.
I think I did that last time, so I'll not take much time. So I wanted to learn golf to network mainly. So I was searching in Google to find out a PGA Pro, and then I found Bobby, and rest is history now. I felt so happy learning golf, and he taught me really well. And I have 2 boys now, started with him, and then we discussed about the app, and I'm glad I'm part of this big app that we are about to released, and extending my expertise in technology. Worked in big banks, built very big platforms, secured, and I own patents, and I feel really lucky to be associated with Bobby and Darren working on this app, and I'm part of this Quick Fix Golf. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Darren and Bobby. I feel blessed to be part of this group.
You'll never go on Google again.
Never.
You can't erase Google. We couldn't do this without you. We could not do this without you. So
no,
we're grateful, and everybody else who is watching this, I'm sure, is very grateful as well, because we want them to play better golf. So, okay.
And of course, Quick Fix Golf is the home of the free swing analysis. Download, just go to Apple Store or go to Google Play if you have the Android phone and download the app. It's absolutely free, won't cost you a dime. And you'll see a green stripe across the top that'll say a free swing analysis. Just take advantage of that, upload your swing. You can either use a prior video that you had in your phone anyway, or you can make a brand new video and get it over, and we'll get it, and we'll immediately do a complete analysis, send it right back to you. Won't cost you.
Absolutely. Not a penny out of your pocket. So I thought we'd start the night off with a little motivation. And obviously everybody knows my relationship with Jack Nicklaus. So there's a lot more to than just executing a golf shot and swinging the golf club, but you've got to have the other things like the mindset and strategy to be able to play the game with any success. So let's take a look at what Jack considers the most important putt in his life.
Jack Nicklaus, Jack, great to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Jack, let's not waste any time. I know golfers' memories are like elephants. You don't forget a thing when it comes to your playing career.
I'm going to get tested, aren't I?
Let's go. This is an early, you've had so many good ones, but let's go back to the Broadmoor, 1959, not far from here, in your first of 2 U.S. amateur titles. You beat Charlie Coe in the final. So what do you remember about that?
I remember a lot. I remember, some of the matches that I played. I remember playing Dave Smith, I think, in the quarterfinals. I remember the par 3 at the Broadmoor that you play downhill, and it was so foggy that you saw absolutely nothing. But we played. They kept playing through it. And I played Gene Andrews in the semifinals. And then we are at the finals with Charlie Coe, and Charlie chipped the ball down almost in the hole to last hole. We were even after 35 holes. And that to me was probably the most important putt that I ever made in my life.
Why do you say that?
Well, it was here for a major championship at that time.
Yeah.
That was a major. It was, I made the shot. I had to make it at the time if I wanted to win. And then I then knew and believed that I could do it. So that to me was the thing that set my mind forward towards knowing that I could do things.
Jack,
So, Bobby, what do you think about that? You played at the very high level, and Jack would always say winning breeds winning. Have you had a moment in your career where you thought that there was a certain point where, hey, I can do this, like Jack did?
Yeah, and it's usually a left to right putt. I could see a left to right putt, and I knew it was going in before I even rolled it. I just knew it. I could just see it. But a right to left putt, I just don't. It's a different animal for me. It's hard for me to judge how far outside the hole I'm going to roll the ball when it's a right to left putt. Where the left to right, I see it going in. Why that is, I have no idea. I wish I knew. Except maybe I do hit a fade with the irons, and a fade looks good to me. So maybe it's just my eye. It's all it is.
But I guess the point is like Jack would say, winning breeds winning. Everybody has a different level of their performance, and Jack, it was in this first example was the U.S. Amateur back in whatever it was, but whether it's the U.S. Amateur or whether it's just making your first par or playing in your first tournament, whatever it is, you need that moment that you can realize, okay, well, under the gun at a certain point, I can do this. And then you can build on that. But the most important thing is you got to put yourself in that situation, which is not easy. It takes a lot to put yourself on that stage. And, like Jack said, that really cemented his career for the rest of his life because he knew he could do it from that point. So I think it's important that everybody realize it's not just swinging a golf club. There's so much more that goes into it, like the mindset there. And Jack, better than anyone, had that mindset. Okay, now we're going to get on tonight's Stop the Truth.
The worst tip in golf, the down cock. Feels like the Virginia Tech Hokies. I love the Hokies. Don't get me wrong here. Listen from Richmond. I like the Hokies more than UVA.
So I'm not really sure who this guy is, but let's,
He's an
anybody
idiot.
anybody can be a YouTuber, an expert. So, but let's listen to what he has to say.
What we see the good players do is lead their back to the target as they move into the hitting area.
Oy, oy, oy.
Hands in front of the right hip pocket, they turn those knuckles down. When they do that, if the right elbow is leading the right hand, we actually increase the wrist cock of the right hand. This is an extremely powerful move right there. Sergio Garcia probably does this better than anybody. Rory McIlroy does this very well. So the knuckles are turning down. We're actually increasing the wrist cock. We call that a down cock, or increasing the cock during the downswing.
What do you think about that, Bobby?
I think Nicholas is going to say the exact opposite.
Exactly.
And he won 18 majors, so
That's right. Here's the truth.
you must unhinge your hands as quickly as you can right at the beginning of the downswing.
Yep.
To get that complete release, you move and it generates the pull of everything here, and the club is pulled down into the hitting area. Now, do not try to keep the release from happening to this point then, because if you take this point and take that to the top of the swing, you'll see it was here, and the club has been released from there to there to get to this point. So as you start down, the club is released at the same time. So as long as you move to the left side, you go ahead and release the club so that you can get maximum extension at the point of impact. And that is important because that's what you're trying to achieve, to get full power and accuracy at the moment of impact. Now,
So what exactly is Jack saying? What is downcock and releasing the golf club? Well, the way that Jack looked at it is you want to keep the width of the arc. You want to get the head of the golf club moving. Don't you agree with that, Bobby?
Absolutely. In fact, the new drill that the kids are doing today is they get to the top of the backswing and they start unwinding the wrist right off the bat because they're swinging the club at 135 miles an hour. So they can't square the face up fast enough. And so what's going to happen is going to be a high right bailout. And that's
Yeah, but the point of tonight's conversation is to talk about some of the misconceptions that are out there and what the reality is. So anybody can say what they want on YouTube, but you have to be careful on what you're listening to. You have to filter it. And just like in this exact example, Jack is saying the complete opposite of that other gentleman. So, okay, next one.
Yeah.
truth. You must pull down, not out.
Well, let's see what that means. So here's Jack Nicklaus Jr. and Mike Malaska. Let's see what they have to say.
HDF, handle drag flipper, okay. And that's where most of us were because we heard these guys talk about pull with your left arm. So we're pulling this way, they're pulling this way. There's the down. In your dad's swing, and all these guys see down is back here. Down has nothing to do with forward.
All right, Bobby, tell us what your thoughts on there.
Well, how many times has anybody heard me saying that?
I know it's a million. Pull the chain, pull the chain.
Say pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down, pull down,
Pull down, pull down, pull down.
pull down, 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 pull down,
That's enough.
down.
So what does that mean? Pull down? Just
Well, it means like what Nicholas said, that he felt like he had to get the club to the ball before the buttons in his shirt got there. Tiger said, I want my arms to win the race, so I give him a head start. Sergio Garcia, my dad told me to pull down on the chain with both hands.
yep,
Well, saying the same thing. Al Geiberger, I felt like I was ringing a bell.
yep.
Hogan, I felt like I was pulling an arrow out of the quiver.
But don't see that or listen to that YouTube information. You got to kind of lead with your hands and you got to pull out. Not something that you want to do.
Now, here's my question. Why is Mike Malaska sitting there talking with Jack Nicklaus Jr.?
Because Mike was Jim Flick's right-hand man for many, many years. And Jim Flick was Jack Nicklaus's instructor for the last half of his career. So that's why he's hanging out at the Bears Club and doing that stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing. Here are those people with all that access and ability and knowledge. They still have somebody else. That's the essence of this game. You need another pair of eyes because you can't trust your eyes.
Absolutely.
Even if you videotape yourself, it's hard to trust your own eyes.
You can't.
Associate the feel with the. But anyway, you can trust one thing, and that's Tea Time Golf Pass. See how we run it just like that? See that?
That's awesome.
If you're paying too much to play golf, then you need Tea Time Golf Pass. You got over 1,000 courses where they have discounts up to 50%. And the new book's coming out in about a month, right, or less?
Yeah, they're going to press on Friday, and the digital will be out probably before the printed, but it's coming out right now.
Yeah,
So
the digital pass is even better. You for sure get 50% off on most everything you do, and you just have it right on your phone. You just walk in the pro shop and show them your phone that you got the digital pass, and it costs you half to play golf. So that means you can play twice as much for the same amount of money.
And you combine that with a little bit of intent, a little bit of instruction from, our app, and you're off to having a lot more fun. Okay, back to a little more motivation. This is Jack Nicklaus's, as he says, his greatest asset.
There's that movie 17.
Well, whole books have been written about your attributes, your swing, physique, the whole bit. And I know you're very humble about your looking back on your career now. But if I asked you to tell us what you thought was your greatest asset, was it preparation? Was it concentration? Was it ability? What was your greatest asset?
You hit a couple of them. I think my ability to concentrate, my ability to focus, my ability to prepare, ability to look at the moment at hand and how to handle it. And that's the thing. You've got to slow down what's happening because everything happens so fast. All of a sudden, it's like they were saying at Cherry Hills where I 3-putted from 12 feet. It went too fast, and I didn't really where I did learn that you had to slow it down to think about what you had to do rather than just rushing through it and all of a sudden, hey, what happened?
So it's amazing there that, they asked about his greatest asset and he didn't talk about how he could hit the ball farther than people, how great his ball striking was, how he could make a putt when he needed to. It was more of the mind side set of things. And how did that relate to you, Bobby, when you were playing for a living?
What comes to my mind is Tom Weiskopf. Tom Weiskopf, I think, had a better golf swing and hit the ball better than Jack Nicklaus ever hoped to hit it. But Jack Nicklaus was smarter than he was. It was more, I won't say determined, but disciplined. Like even Trevino said, Nicklaus, if he decided he was going to hit a 3-wood on a certain hole off the tee because it was a tight par 4, whatever, whether he was 1 under or 20 under or 20 over, he still hit that 3-wood. Where Trevino said he'd get mad if he was a little bit over par and he'd try and hit the driver to get even. So, Jack was very disciplined.
And that's the truth. Absolutely. My time at the Bears Club, the one thing I've taken away from that is Jack's ability to prepare. That's the most important thing that you can do when you're going to play golf. You have to prepare. And he was the best at it. And then when you're prepared, what happens on that first tee? You're not nervous because you're prepared. So one great thing there to take away, to think about the next time you're teeing off, it's not just all about execution. You got to be prepared. And if you're not prepared, hey, you're going to be nervous.
I tell you when I used to get nervous, when you saw the tee sheet for the next day. You have to look at the tee sheet and see who you're playing with. And then all of a sudden you look in there, you see you're playing with somebody that, that you've watched on TV as a kid and everything else. Like I had that with Ramon Soto. Ramon Soto was a famous player from Spain. And I said, I'm playing with Ramon Soto. I was just so mesmerized.
Sure.
That you get yourself off tee. So anyway, that's here's the truth. You must push out your arms. This is Steve Elkington.
And for those of you who did not know Steve Elkington, amazing guy. Probably, if anybody voted for what's the perfect golf swing, he would have it. Amazingly, he was allergic to grass, if you can believe it. And that's where he spent most of his career, on grass. So very, very bright mind. One of the best swings, at least aesthetically, that you can look at. But very, very knowledgeable. Let's see what he says about the truth about pushing your arms out, because everybody thinks, what? I don't want to push my arms out. I want to keep my right arm in there. I want to keep for a right-handed golfer, I want to keep my right arm next to my side.
We all will agree that when you bend your right arm, okay, that's called push power. Push over power. Everyone has a bent right arm, straight right arm, right? That's a power. That's a power source.
Push power, he calls it. Push power. And I would equivalent that to what Jack was saying about, unhinging the golf club and releasing the golf club. Your right arm at some point has to unlever. It has to straighten out to get to the golf ball. But most people that we see, right, Bobby, are trying to hold that angle with their right arm way too long.
If you just compare it to throwing a ball, let's say you're throwing a ball from center field to home plate. You cock your arm, you hinge your wrist, and then you carry that angle, and then you release the angle. You throw your hand, and your right arm goes completely elongated as far as it'll go. It stretches out. That's what Tiger describes. It feels like he's shaking somebody's hand, reaching out to shake somebody's hand. So you've got to you make this angle right here. You hinge your hand, you carry the angle, and boom, you throw it away.
1000%. But you can watch some YouTube stuff that says the opposite. You got to carry that elbow into your side and hold on as long as you can. Well, the truth is here tonight. That's not something that you want to do if you want to play better golf.
Truth, you must rotate and fold.
That's a beautiful background.
That's in Arizona somewhere.
Arizona, right? Yeah. So let's see. This is Mike Malaska, by the way. Once again, Jim Flick's right-hand man, who was Jack Nicklaus's coach for the last half of his career. I got to spend a lot of time around him. Great personality, great person, great character. Let's see what he has to say.
So some people have talked about when they finally start letting the club release correctly, so it's going this way, that they're hurting their thumb or their wrist. Why? Here's what happens to most people. You're trying so hard to keep your left arm straight that your left arm stays straight, and then you're trying to make your wrist work. Well, that's putting so much pressure on my wrist and my thumb, it's incredible. So when I hit it, but my left arm's relaxed. So as I go over here, my arm's straight, but as my wrists start to work this way, my left arm rotates and folds up. Rotates and folds. I'll turn this way. So it rotates and folds. Now, if I kick.
How many times have we heard keep your left arm straight? And what is Malaska saying there? Your left arm's got to fold. It's got to rotate and fold. What are your thoughts on that, Bobby?
I always tell everybody the 3 great lies of all time is keep your head down, keep a stiff left arm, and I'm from the government. I'm here to help you. I said none of those are true, especially the third one.
You mean the government's not here to help us?
No,
No. Okay.
but yet, if anytime you put a stiff arm, you're causing a stoppage. It's a decelerating move. You gotta, and that's what bothers me when I see people trying to keep their left arm real stiff or anything stiff. Say, I want to bend at the elbows. When you get back throwing the ball, we did a second ago, you bend at the elbow. That's how your arm becomes a lever.
Yep.
Your arm can't become a lever if it doesn't bend. So, to have long, stiff arms are going to go slow. They're not going to go as fast as bent arms. They're going to go faster. So
Some people.
we've talked about the truth tonight. So many different misconceptions about how the arms and hands work in a golf swing, and what the reality of it is that should be happening. So, but if you don't know what your arms and hands are doing, you want to know more about your golf swing, get out your cell phones, download our app, and we're going to give you a free analysis. And you owe it to yourself. We'll give you some drills to work on, and we just want you to play better golf. So let's open up the